Right, Ruchit also joins us. Ruchit, what's your view on the Bank Nifty, especially because this series has seen an 8% rally on the Bank Nifty, and it's completely reversed what it saw in the months of November as well as December?
Yeah, hi, good morning. Well, overall, if we come on to Bank Nifty, when initially the market started its up move from 7,900 levels in Nifty, clearly for 1 or 2 weeks, Bank Nifty was the underperformer. But last couple of weeks or last week especially, we can say that the momentum has started picking up in the banking stocks also. Now, the momentum of the Bank Nifty would more depend on what private sector heavyweights are doing, as most of the private sector banks, the heavyweights in the private sector bank constitute about 70 to 75% of the weightage in the Bank Nifty index. Now, amongst the private sector bank, we have seen a phenomenon up move in the Kotak Bank. So definitely the trend has changed to positive in the Kotak Bank, as most of the resistances has been crossed with very good volumes on day before yesterday's trading session. Even other banking stocks amongst the heavyweights, if we see, then ICICI Bank definitely has not seen an up move so far, but it's trading very close to its support level. So downside seems to be very limited in ICICI Bank too. So if the heavyweights continue to support the banking index, then I think the Bank Nifty index is also going to be it's going to remain in the positive territory as well. On the levels front, I think 19,700 to 19,750 would be the range to watch out for Bank Nifty. I think probably in a day or two the index should rally up to those levels.
Right, Ruchit, in terms of stock specific action, we've got ITC that reports numbers today, and that commands quite a big weightage. We've seen a big move coming on the banks owing to private banks like Kotak, as you mentioned, but what's your view on some of the larger FMCG names? HUL is behind us in terms of ITC.
Yes, ITC, definitely the trend is positive. We have seen that from the levels of around 200, 225, the stock had formed a double bottom pattern over there, and then it has continued its up move, and in fact amongst the large cap stocks it has been one of the leader. Now if you observe the positional charts or the historical charts, then 200 and I think the resistance around 267, 268, which was the high of September month. In case that is taken out in today's trading session on closing basis, then definitely we can assume that it would be a continuation of the uptrend. As of now, there are no signs of reversals, and until we get any sign of trend reversal, one should definitely not preempt any kind of reversal coming in the stock. Any declines in such a trended move or in such a stock where there is a very strong momentum, definitely that should be used as a buying opportunity. So we can expect the continuation of the uptrend. Existing long position should be held on with stop loss, keeping stop loss below 255. As far as HUL is concerned, the momentum definitely seems to be positive there also. The higher top, higher bottom structure after forming a base around 780 has started on the daily as well as on lower time frame charts. So we are expecting an up move up to 890, 892 in the stock. But if we compare amongst both the stocks, clearly the outperformance is there with ITC, and I think that stock would continue to continue to outperform this FMCG pack and would move in a upside direction.
Chandan, what are you doing with Bank Nifty? Are you expecting the leadership to continue coming in from Bank Nifty, and hence one could consider going long at these levels?
Yes, I think because of the momentum in the Bank Nifty managed to head towards 8600, and this leadership may continue for a couple of trading session. And in fact, we have witnessed built up of long position in the rollover also on the long side in selective banking and the finance counter. Bank Nifty has to hold the support of 18,700 and rallied to us 19,500 zone, and now holding the same extent is moved to us 19,800 to 20,000 kind of levels. So I think this momentum may extend, while in the banking counter we have positive view on the IndusInd Bank, Yes Bank, SDFC Bank. These stocks are likely to perform in the market.
We'll take a quick break on that note. We'll come back, track pre-open, and of course the rupee opening as well, so stay tuned. Welcome back. 7 minutes to go as we gear up for trade this morning. It's indicating the good start, 8670 now on the SGX. So a very strong start is expected on the markets. Catching up on yesterday's Q as well. Globally, things are looking good, and there are a bunch of earnings as well that we want to watch out for in today's day of trade. Ruchit, What are your top picks in the banking space right now?
Well, amongst the banking space, we have already seen a good momentum coming in Kotak Bank, but we are expecting further continuation of this move. So probably Kotak Bank in the banking stocks looks quite positive, and I think the stock could very soon head toward its previous all-time high, which was around 830. Apart from this, if anyone wants to take a fresh entry in the banking space, then the SBI looks quite positive from current levels. Probably the stock has seen a good consolidation phase in last 3 or 3.5 months, wherein markets had corrected. Even PSU banks, if we see the other PSU banks is corrected, but this stock has shown a time-wise correction rather than a price correction. So I think from here on, if this basket moves higher, then just because it has shown a time-wise correction, I think this could be one of the outperformer and the leader among the PSU banking space, and the stock could head higher towards 280, 282 levels. So one could go long in the SBI amongst the PI, amongst the banking space at current levels, keeping a stop loss below 248 and expecting target around 278 to 80.
Mohit, what are you buying from the banking arena? Just into break, you said you were quite impressed by earnings.
Well, two banks that really stand out for me is Yes Bank. It's still looking good on the charts, really strong uptrend, and I think it's a good time to go long buy, but with a stop loss around levels of 1390, you could see targets of 1440. Again, IndusInd Bank is looking really good in the charts, trading at all-time highs. Here you can go long with a stop around levels of 1250 for targets of 1300. Make sure you have these strict stop losses because we've already seen a big run-up on these banks. None to say that the run-ups could continue, but it's a good time to perhaps have a trailing stop loss and then go on the long side.
Chandan, two auto stocks that I would imagine would be quite active today. Maruti, of course, on back of its earnings from Wednesday, we could see some action on that one. And Ashok Leyland, Street was disappointed. The stock had corrected on Wednesday itself.
Yes, talking about the Maruti, we are quite positive on the counter. It is just now hovering near to its lifetime high territory. It has seen the strong momentum in the last series by around 9 to 10%. So overall trend is positive, and I think this positive outcome might continue to cheer the sentiment. It has immediate support near to 5650 kind of level, and holding above 5850 may take it to even 6000 to 61 kind of levels. We have seen better rollover with the better roll cost, which clearly indicates that longs are carrying to their positions, and this stock is all set to head towards its new high, and above that it may start the next leg of rally, and I think this will be the outperformer counter in the entire auto pick, and any small decline would be the buying opportunity in the counter. Talking about the Ashok Leyland, the stock has been finding multiple hurdle near to 87.80 and has been consolidating from last 2 to 3 weeks. So on downside, it may find support near to 83. If it comes near to 83, one can again buy for upside target was 90, 92 kind of levels.
Richard, couple of big losers last week. So your Divi's Lab that was off 6% in the last couple of days. Karnataka Bank earnings were disappointing. The stock has got punished for that. And Ajanta Pharma as well on back of those import bans that have been coming from the US FDA. What is the outlook on these three counters? Could one look at sort of buying and playing a pullback potentially?
I'll say this is a trended up move, and one should always keep in mind that whenever we are in a trended up move, those stocks which are underperforming the market, they would continue to underperform. Even if you see the pullback moves or pullback rallies, any sort of pullback rallies in such kind of stocks, then also they would not tend to outperform the other stocks. So I think one should definitely not do any kind of bottom fishing, specifically in the stocks such as Divi's Lab, which has which most of the retail traders are looking to buy just because the prices have corrected significantly from where they were about 2 to 3 months ago. So only because of the reason that the prices have corrected significantly, one should not do any kind of bottom fishing. This stock has been an underperformer in last 15-20 trading sessions, and I think going ahead it would continue to do so. As far as KTK Bank is concerned, probably I think the downside would be very limited in KTK Bank because if we observe the positional charts, then definitely the stock has good support coming in around 112 to 110 zone. So although the downside would be very limited in this, in case if the stock comes around 110 levels, I think one could also initiate a fresh buying in this, keeping a stop loss below 104 or so. And Ajanta Pharma in day before yesterday on Friday's trading session, probably the stock has given a breakdown below its 200-day simple moving average. Also, we have seen in the recent consolidation phase, we have not seen any kind of volumes coming in on the days when the stock had shown a pullback historic move. So I think underperformance would continue in Ajanta Pharma as well. So I think all the three names that we are talking, among these three names, KTK Bank downside definitely seems to be very limited, but the other two stocks, Divi's Lab and Ajanta Pharma, definitely these stocks should be avoided from trading perspective.
We had three big gainers from Wednesday, all from the NBFC space. So Bharat Financial 11%, Muthoot Finance 8% and Bajaj Finance 7.5%.
Well, as far as Bharat Finance goes, this is looking okay on the charts. It's seen a good up move and on extremely heavy volumes. Now, this can certainly extend towards levels of 840, 850 in the coming, few sessions. But nonetheless, we've seen a big up move. So you need to have a deep stop loss around levels of 730 zones. As far as Muthoot Finance goes, this also has seen a pretty big up move on the charts in trade on Wednesday, and this could continue next towards levels of 335. Again, here a stop loss around levels of 314 would be good. And lastly, you spoke about Bajaj Finance. This also is looking good on the charts. It can continue to head higher towards levels of 1050 next. Again, a buy, but have a stop around levels of 985.
That's the view on a couple of the big gainers in trade for Wednesday. That's market opening. It's a little all over the place. We'll give it a few minutes before we come back to it. Contradictory to what the SGX was indicating, the Nifty 50 has actually opened up flat with 7 points cut and the start of a brand new. See, there you go. It's back at 8,600, 8,607 is what we're getting in on pre-open rates. The Sensex is also indicating to 38 point uptick. Amongst your big movers, I think Wipro will be the stock of the day. Earnings were flat, slightly below what the street was expecting. Guidance is also not looking very promising from the management. The stock, though, being very mature in terms of its reaction, down only about 0.5% on that counter. While we are with the IT pack, a quick check on Infy and TCS as well. Given that Mr. Trump is keeping his rhetoric up with action, it seems like there could be some pressure continuing to build up, but the reaction on these IT stocks is one of being muted. TCS is down 1%, HCL Tech is up about 0.3%, Tech Mahindra is down 1%, Infosys on the other hand is also trading flat. Maruti and Ashok Leyland were the two earnings reaction. Even the Maruti was announced during market hours on Wednesday. It wouldn't surprise me if the stock would continue to react, and that's exactly what it's doing. 3.5% uptick is what we're seeing on Reliance Industries. Ashok Leyland was down nearly 3% on Wednesday. This morning it's down about 0.7%. RIL is also trading flat with a slight negative bias. Well, a couple of other counters that will be in focus. So you've got a whole bunch of smaller names. IDBI, GHFCL, GAIL is expected to announce one bonus share for existing 3 equity shareholders. The stock has had a pretty good run in the last couple of days, might continue to be in focus today as well. Well, you've also got IIFL on back of earnings, Blue Star, Chola Finance and Aztec Life. So these are the other 4 counters that announced earnings. Good set of numbers, so we'll have to see what the stock gets up to. You also had earnings from Indiabull Ventures, Indiabulls Real Estate, VRL Logistics, Oberoi Realty, Everest Industries, LG Labor, IDFC Bank and Orbit Exports and Saregama. So these were disappointing earnings. We will see stocks reacting to them. Oberoi already indicating to 2.5% downtick. HDFC Bank is down 2.5%. Numbers were slightly muted this time around for the bank, and they've also seen a 5% drop in attrition. So that could be another concern that could weigh on HDFC Bank. Even the management has said it's all about enhancing productivity and keeping aggressive hiring on the low is what's led to that 5% number. But we'll come back and check back on the market opening in just a few minutes. Dollar rupee is showing some weakness. 68.17 is what we've got on the local currency as the dollar has rebounded from its 6-week low. Mohit, what are your top picks this morning?
We'll have a bunch of buy calls, and the first one's a buy on DCM Shriram. It's looking good on the chart, seen a nice up move on trade on Wednesday, and this can continue to head higher towards levels of 290. It's a buy with a stop loss around levels of 271. Another one is Quest Corp, again trading at all-time highs. This looks good on the charts. Next levels here, we can head higher towards levels of 750. It's a buy with a stop around levels of 720. Hind Copper is just starting an up move, breaking out of a nice base formation, and this can continue to head higher towards levels of 75, maybe even higher in the coming few sessions. This is a buy with a stop around levels of 68.50. And lastly, ACC is looking good on the chart, seen a nice up move in trade on Wednesday. This can continue to head higher towards levels of 14.45. It's a buy with a stop around levels of 13.85.
Right.
Let's also welcome in Umesh Mehta. He's the head of research at Samco Securities. We'll just go to him in a minute. But Ruchit, coming to you, just a word on Maruti as well. Brokerage reports coming in after those earnings came in on Wednesday. It's been a steady quarter from them, but on the charts, how is Maruti looking to you?
So definitely the trend for the stock is positive. One thing to observe what has happened in the recent past when we had seen double bottom kind of formation in the Nifty in around 7900. Now being one of the large cap stocks, one should definitely compare the the price formation in the stock also during that time. So the first time in the month of November when the Nifty had hit 7900, the stock had formed a low of 47, somewhere around 4775, and then again in the month of December and when the Nifty had again hit a low of 7900, this stock has relatively outperformed and made another low of 5080. So there was a higher bottom formation in Maruti when the index was forming a double bottom formation. So there was a outperformance during that time. So this shows that when there's a trended move now in the market, since it was the outperformer during that time, I think this up move is definitely going to continue. 5965 would be the first resistance to watch out in the stock, since it was a high formed in the month of October. But I think relatively the stock would continue to outperform, and this high of around 5960 would be taken out, would also be taken out. So one should continue to trade with positive bias in the stock. One can keep a stop loss around 5600 on existing long positions.
Maintain long on Maruti. Chandan, let's talk about some of your strategies this morning as well. You have a strangle on the Nifty. Just take us through your rationale on that, as also your individual stock picks.
Yes, now market is heading towards budget, and historical budget has remained highly volatile, and we may see the movement of 300 to 400 points on either side. However, trend of the market is positive as it is making higher top, higher bottom formation and rallied from 7900 to 8600 kind of zone. We are expecting this momentum is continue, but because of the budget, market might see volatile on either side. So we are recommending to be with the long strangle in that buy 8450 put and buy 8750 call. So for the entire options, calls and puts, one has to pay the premium of 145. And if market moves by 200 to 300 points on either side, then we may get profit in this entire strategy. So we are expecting a volatile move now. VIX, which is near to 14.80, 14.95, might see the move towards 17.5 to 18 levels. So the rising volatility might give us a support to this strategy, and we are expecting the volatile move in the market.
Right. Umesh, fundamentally, what is justifying this recent run-up, and also fair to attribute it to budget euphoria, and how do markets usually perform post-budget as well? Because it seems like we could be topping out at these levels.
So I think it's interesting, there's a lot of buzz around budget, what's going to happen, so many events being conducted. But if we check history, last 20, 30 years, in how Indian markets have responded to pre and post budget, I think the results are startling. In fact, budgets have just synchronized. You won't be able to find out a big difference, whether budget was there or not there on the particular budget day. So 70% of the time budgets have been just in line with the market, or they have synchronized with the price movement, and they were in line with the underlying trend of the market. 30% of the time, yes, budget have turned the market in terms of turning from extreme tops or extreme bottoms. So inherently, when markets were overbought and when the budgets were presented, although budgets were nothing bad about the budget, but still market came down. So 2015 was the example. Markets was doing great. Budget was obviously over an average, but market then started to fall down. And similarly in 2016, budget was not those. Budget was just a normal event, but still market started their run up. So there is so much of hue and cry made out of budget, but this time it is expected that long-term capital gain tax will be imposed, or some amount of tax period extension, and there is fear in the market that markets may come down. But if you check in 1997 budget, when for the first time a long-term capital gain tax was abolished, people would think, oh my God, market should rise, but actually, you know what, market had fallen down by 10% in spite of capital gain tax being removed. So to put any event that such and such event will impact on budget, I think that's pretty far. So markets have been in an underlying trend after the budget. So this time also there is liquidity, there is buoyancy, there is liquidity. We have come out from pessimism, and therefore market should continue its uptrend whether or not budgets are there. Yes, budget will be taken in positive aspect because the underlying trend is bullish. This is how our study had concluded.
Right, that's the fundamental view on the markets. Mohit, couple of these oil and gas stocks had a pretty good run on Wednesday. BPCL, IOC and HPCL, what's the call on these?
Well, all three of them have been in a really strong uptrend like some of the metals counters, and they've continued to hit new highs. So BPCL now can, it's trading at all-time highs. It can continue to head higher towards 750, maybe even 800. The best way to trade these stocks is to have a trailing stop loss. So on BPCL, I think a good trailing stop loss of about 700 is there. On Hindustan Petroleum or HPCL, I think we can have that stop loss at levels of 535, and we could see levels of 560 to 570. And lastly, IOC. Here you can have a stop loss around levels of 370, and you could perhaps move higher towards levels of 400 to 410.
Right. Chandan, we didn't get some of your stock calls in. You gave that nifty strategy, but amongst the stocks that you're looking at, so there I see a Hindalco, I see a Grasim, as also some of the other counters. What are you watching out for?
Yes, talking about Hindalco, the stock has done well. It has rallied by around 11% in the entire series, has been making higher tops, higher bottom formation, trading near to its 3 years high levels. We are expecting this rally to extend to us 198 to 200 zone. So one can buy in future or can trade with 190 call with a stop loss of 6 for target of 15 rupees. Talking about the Grasim and Aditya Birla Nova has recently bottomed out and surpassed the multiple hurdle of 888 zone, and holding up with the same extent is rally to us 980 to 990 kind of level. So recommending to buy with a stop loss of 905 for the higher target. While I have positive view on most of the oil marketing company, and we are in fact recommending from last 3 to 4 weeks, we have seen the strong outperformance in the BPCL, IOC and HPCL. All these stocks are likely to continue their up move. So here I am recommended to go long on BPCL with a stop loss of 686 for the upside target to us 720 levels.
Right. Mohit, pull up the counter for Blue Star that's reacting to its earnings. Anything of interest on that chart to you?
Well, as far as the Blue Star goes, we've been broadly range bound between 450 on the downside and maybe levels of 580, 575 on the upside. Now, so far the bias is mildly bullish because we've held on to supports of 450 and rallied up smartly. So perhaps, if the results are good, I don't know the results, but if they are good, we could perhaps head higher towards levels of 540, 545 again. And then we'll have to wait and see because that's a reasonably strong supply zone. So perhaps 540, 545 can happen on the upside. A good stop loss here would be levels of 500.
Umesh, what are you doing with HDFC Bank? In pre-open, there's some pressure on the counter. They've let go of nearly 5,000 employees in the quarter, and earnings growth has fallen to an 18-year low, and costs have, of course, become a concern. Is the tide changing for the HDFC Bank?
This can be considered as an exceptional quarter because considering demonetization and all the difficulties that the banks had faced. So that being the case, and 5,000 employees reduction, I think from a bank's perspective, from shareholders' perspective, I think it is good if they are reducing cost because of automations that are going to happen. So yes, this is what the bank is evolving, and they are being ready for they are being future ready. So that being the case, yes, 18% growth in PAT is disappointing, but we have to consider this as an exceptional quarter, and the growth momentum will be henceforth will be normalized. The correction is 2.5%. It is down in pre-opening because banks had run up too fast, and therefore this is just a normal correction, profit booking.
Very quickly, Mohit, you want to come into this on HDFC Bank because it's the one that's underperforming the pack.
Well, HDFC Bank in the last few sessions has seen a really strong run up. So far the bias still looks good on the upside, and one can continue to hold long positions, have a stop along levels of 1270 and trade on the long side. We could see levels of maybe 1350 also in the coming few weeks. However, this is a slightly longer term call, maybe not the best fresh entry point, but the bias is still on the upside.
Right. There will be a whole bunch of earnings reaction that we will be watching out for. Just check on what is expected in terms of opening. Comfortably above levels of 8600 is where we should be setting ship at today. So 8610 is what pre-open is showing us. We could see a flattish kind of opening and then build on to those gains on back of stronger global cues this morning and reaction coming in after the SGX was actually trading while we were shut in yesterday's trade. The rupee though is seeing some weakness on expected lines. It's the dollar that's rebounded from its 6-week low, so you are seeing some weakness returning back on the currency. 68.22, so we opened around the levels of 68.17, but further weakness has been seen on the currency in the last 15 minutes or so. In terms of stocks to watch out for, Wipro will be the stock of the day. Earnings, remember, were disappointing. They've posted a 1.7% profit growth for the quarter ended December 31st. They expect a muted revenue growth in the quarter ending March 2017, and they are to acquire IT service provider Infoservice. So all those cues is what the markets will be reacting to post Wipro's earnings. Ashok Leyland, they've posted a 13% decline in profits for the third quarter, missing street expectations. They say that the third quarter is challenging for the industry due to higher input cost, and they very evidently felt the impact of demonetization as well. IDFC, they posted a 21% decline in net profit on back of higher provisioning. Raymond has posted a consolidated loss of about 15 odd crores, much better than what the street was expecting. Exide has reported a nearly 10% uptick in standalone net profit for the third quarter. This was driven by motorcycle batteries, so watch out for that count as well. Indian Bank, they've shown a growth. Indiabulls Real Estate has seen a 13.5% decline in their earnings. Well, that's the opening, almost on expected lines. You've got 86.18 on the Nifty, so 20 points higher, 0.2% gains coming in for the Nifty. The Sensex also trading with a 100-point uptick. Stock of the day on the downside is Wipro. It's got not that bad a cut actually. Surprisingly, I was expecting a far worse reaction coming in on the stock, but the markets are being mature and looking beyond the next 2 quarters for Wipro. 0.5% lower is what we've got. They've sequentially seen a degrowth for the last 2 quarters. Management has indicated that it will take them 2 more quarters to go back into good growth. So that's the picture for Wipro. Apart from that, pull up Ashok Leyland because that's the other big earnings reaction that we should be expecting. Numbers were a disappointment, but the stock is actually up. It sold off 2.6% ahead of its earnings on Wednesday, reacting positively to what I had no idea, but the stock trades about 2% higher. GAIL, watch out for this one. It's been the stock of the day for the last couple of weeks now. They've announced a free share for existing 3 equity shares, on back of which the stock is trading with a gain of 3%. BHEL is back in the green. It had been underperforming in the last few weeks, not participating in the last leg of the Jan series. Up about 1.5% on BHEL is what we've got. ACC is back on the buyers list, 1.5% uptick on that one. Aurobindo Pharma is up 1.5%. Pull up HDFC Bank. I want to see whether it's reacting to the newspaper articles that made headlines yesterday. The stock is ignoring that. See beyond the curve, 0.5% gain is what HDFC is showing us this morning. Axis Bank is looking good. Eicher Motors is having a strong day of trade. ICICI Bank, Bharti Airtel, Maruti Suzuki continuing to do well. Earnings were had met the street expectation. The counter is performing in line. Sectorally, it's a pretty strong day. All sectors are trading positive. The mid-cap and the small-cap index showing some amount of outperformance. Auto is up 0.4%. Metal stocks are doing well. Banks are up 0.5%. Banks up nearly 6/10% now. A couple of stocks I just want to touch upon before I hand it over to Deep for mid-cap stocks. ITC, Sun Pharma, Colgate, Tata Coffee, Bharat Electronics, Binani Industries, a whole bunch of counters are going to be announcing their numbers. So those will be stocks that the markets will be watching out for in today's trade. In terms of reaction, can you just pull up IDFC and see IDFC Bank and see what that's getting up to? They posted a 21% decline. The stock is getting a beating, 5% lower in their net profit on back of higher provisioning. So huge cut coming in on that counter. Raymond, if you can get that one up too, they've posted a loss, but the loss has declined to about 15 odd crores. It's better than what the street was expecting. The counter still getting a thumbs down, 3% low on that one. Exide Industries, it's been a pretty good quarter, beating street expectations. Their profits are up 10%, and the counter is also up about 2.5% on back of that. Indian Bank, they've had a good quarter. Pull up Indian Bank and see what that's getting up to. 0.3% higher. Indiabulls Real Estate, huge disappointment on that one. The stock has run up quite sharply in the Jan series. The stock down 0.8%, so being very mature in terms of its reaction. Well, that's pretty much earnings reaction, Neil.
Right, and Samir, just pull up an IFL Holdings again, because that one is the top gainer from the Nifty 500. 6% added over there, profit jump of 41% coming in the quarter. Blue Star also reacting positively to those numbers. United Spirits and United Breweries, those are the other two stocks you should watch out for. Regulatory clampdown on Vijay Mallya coming in. You have Capital First, that's doing well in morning trade. Simplex Infra, Dredging Corp, Orient Cement. Also pull up a JK Cement and see if there's a reaction on that. There's been a block deal on that counter. We'll just see if JK Cement is reacting at the moment to that news. There you go, up about 1.5%. Welspun Corp is doing well in the morning trade. Serra Sanitaryware, Delta Corp, Igarashi Motors, Ashoka Buildcon, Bajaj Finance and Repco Home are some of the other counters that are up in morning trade. Stocks that aren't looking too good at the moment, so you have the likes of a Bhushan Steel. This one is down about 3.5%, but it has seen an extremely sharp run up with regards to the acquisition buzz coming in from JSW Steel. But remember, there are some concerns coming in from lenders with regard to the sale of this unit. Alembic Pharma down about 2.5%. You have Swan Energy taking it on the chin. Trent continues to slide lower. Ramakrishna Industries, Techno Electric, JMT Auto, Honeywell Automation, Prestige Estates and Bombay Rayon, some of the other stocks that are on the back foot from the broader market universe. But like you were saying, Samina, another positive start to trade. A strong start really coming in, at least in the first hour of trade, to the Feb series. We'll have to wait and watch if the momentum really continues going forward. Holding above 8600 for now. Umesh, just come in on some of the IT earnings. They continue to disappoint. So whether it's TCS, whether it's Infi, or now of course Wipro, HCL Tech also highlighting some concerns. Are the markets already repricing in the lower growth rates for these companies, the kind of volatile times that they're facing, or do you see a sustained downward selling pressure coming in as the quarters proceed?
So I think so market have already discounted the fact that IT growth will be muted for some more time, and considering the development in the US, there will be some amount of headwinds that this sector is going to face. But the best part is that now the negative news is now no more creating an impact on the stocks on the downside. So for example, Wipro. So Wipro has had no growth, and still the stock is holding on to its near to the previous levels. So I think stocks have been pretty on a larger time frame oversold. There is a lot of pessimism, and we have a record future estimate of around 8 to 9% growth. So this is lowest in the decade. And whenever these levels have come up, and the valuations, the P multiples, when they have come up to this level, sooner or later market will reprice, market will be surprised when actually the growth comes in, and that's the time the stocks will be re-rated. So we need to have some more time, some more amount of time the stocks will need to spend, some more amount of patience that is required from investors. And then and probably, as the street saying goes, when the patience is exhausted and when people actually come out and sell the stocks, and that's the time the stocks will again rally. Yes, rally will come. So there is nothing that this sector has been written off. There is huge potential. So that's how we see this entire IT sector.
Just on a bank Nifty, another strong start coming in, 0.6% up in trade right now at those 19,600 levels now. So just in terms of levels that we're watching out for going forward.
Well, now going ahead, I think 19,800 is the next level we can look at for the bank Nifty. A good stop loss would be below today's low, so perhaps levels of 19,550 would be good stop losses on the bank Nifty. It's tight, but I think after such a big run up, it's reasonable to have tight stop losses on the upside.
Ruchir, on the Nifty, some of the big gainers today are GAIL, ACC and BHEL. Do you have a call on these three stocks?
Yes, we are quite positive on GAIL from last one and a half months itself. The high top, high bottom structure is continuing, and even if we compare the volumes compared to what was happening during the previous up moves, then this time the volumes are definitely quite higher than those during previous up moves. So we are expecting targets around 515 to come in the stock in very short term. So definitely GAIL looks to be very positive amongst the stocks.
What about BHEL, Ruchir? You didn't tell me your call on that one.
BHEL, if you see, then so far the stock has not done that well compared to what the momentum we have seen in the markets or even the other large cap stocks. But yes, in today's trading session, we are seeing a breakout coming in above 134. So I think in very short term, we can see a good up move. It might not be a outperformer, but I think an up move could be seen in the stock up to 140 to 142 levels. So fresh trades could be taken from a very short term perspective with a strict stop loss below 130 for target around 140 to 142.
Any budget picks? I know it's only a couple of days to go, but I guess if the euphoria is because of budget, we could see some run up in a couple of counters.
Yeah. So two things. Number one, in general, this time the rollover in Nifty, the premium was at yearly low. So shorts have been rolled over and longs they have so they were jittery in carrying forward longs. So going by that logic, you know, in 2016 when the markets were at top, there was huge amount of longs rollover. So it's the exact opposite. So people are skeptic. There is not so there is still lot of pessimism. FIIs have still not bought in. So in terms of all those factors, there is huge upside potential that is still left. And as the saying goes, no price is too high to buy, right? So people have to, so the momentum will continue and people should not fear in terms of buying. There is still a lot of probably shorts remaining still in the markets. Now considering budget, there are 2-3 sectors which is plain no-brainer. You know, government has to add incentive for this sector. Is so number one is agriculture. So agriculture taking forward from the last year. So last year they had given 2% insurance protection, and that has created huge ripple effect this time when we are seeing agri stocks. So I think agriculture will be another booster this time too in terms of another policy formulations. So fertilizer stocks, agri input stocks. So this stocks as a sector looks great. Second would be housing ancillary. So something like your paints, something like ceramics, tiles, cement. So all these sectors have corrected a lot because of years of demonetization, and now these stocks still have a lot of value. And considering the budget, I think these stocks, the sectors will get boost, and people can buy and hold. Traders can still enter these stocks, putting their appropriate risk management. So all these sectors look promising.
Chandan, are you tracking the stock of Delta Corp? It's up about 2.5% today. It's had a strong start to 2017 as well, up about 22% for the year. Any view? Does it make sense to enter the stock at current levels?
Yes, one can enter into the counter because just couple of days back or couple of weeks back, it made bottom near to 9600 zone, and after that, it rallied to us 139.40 kind of levels, and after the decline it is again head to us higher levels. Immediate hurdle comes near to 139, and above that stock may even move to us 152 kind of level. So overall price structure is quite strong, risk reward is attractive, and one can go long with the stop loss near to 128 for target of 139, then 152, 55 kind of levels.
Mohit, what's happening with Ashok Leyland? It's disregarding those earnings completely, up about 2% in trade right now. Has done fairly steady over the last few trading sessions as well. What are the charts suggesting?
See, we've moved up a pretty strong support zones around 75 to 80 towards levels of 88. Now on the upside, we got reasonably strong supply zones around 90, 91 zones. So maybe not the best entry point as we speak, but if we do get past levels of 90, 91, then we can perhaps head higher towards 100.
Chandan, what is your call on IFL Holdings? 7% uptick now. You've got 303 on that stock.
Yes, talking about IFL Holding, after the consolidation of last 6 to 7 weeks, the stock has seen the strong momentum in the last week, and this extension of momentum may continue, which may take it to probable 340, 335 kind of zone. So today's gap up opening and follow-up buying is giving a sense of the up move by 7 to 8%. So one can continue with the position with a stop loss of 295 for the higher targets.
Mohit, anything on United Spirits? 4% uptick there. NLC India 5.5% higher. Could one buy at these levels, maybe intraday?
Well, from United Spirits is looking really good. It's moved up from a nice strong base formation of sub 2000 levels. We've already rallied 15-17% from those levels. We can perhaps head higher towards levels of 2400 next. So one can go long with a stop around levels of 2280. However, this is a good longer term buy as well. And if one's looking to buy it from a few months or even a few quarters point of view, it's a good buy. As far as NLC India goes, this also looking okay on the charts. Perhaps not the best trade for an intraday, but nonetheless a positive chart structure. We can see this head higher towards levels of maybe 110 in the coming few weeks. You can buy it with the stop around levels of 96.
Right. Umesh, a couple of other names I want to talk to you about. Are you buying NBFCs? Because there's been a new breath of fresh air that's come into the sector. Do you think the worst is behind them now?
Yes, NBFC, the worst seems that the way they have reported the numbers, majority of them have surprised the street, and now because of digitization and economy that we are shifting to, the government push probably will also come in budget. So India is just 1/10, so developed countries, the debt, the household debt to GDP is 60-70%, and China is around 30-40%. So we are just 10%. So there is huge potential, the pie that has to be captured by these NBFCs, and then there will be a tectonic shift in the way we will buy goods, and NBFCs are going to benefit from this entire structural shift in the economy. So all those NBFCs had fallen down hard, and probably they have started to rise, but I think still there is a lot of value in terms of long-term investing. So all those stocks have got great potential in terms of value creation for investors.
Right. Let's also talk about just the call on earnings, because markets are moving up. How much of it is factored in because of earnings optimism or earnings coming above estimates, especially for most of the PSU banks? Let's disregard Axis numbers, but other private banks, have done well. So how much of this optimism is due to earnings, and is this trend only going to continue? Is the worst over as far as you were factoring in on earnings and demonetization?
Correct. So if you think, if we say how markets are reacting, see, markets are reacting to expectations. So expectations were muted, there was a lot of fear on the street, and once the actual results have started to come, markets are showing a sigh of relief. They are, so they are, in a sense, because the expectations, they have met beyond the expectations, market is now discounting those factors, and market has a habit of going too far. So because the numbers have been reported good from quarter to quarter, markets had not anticipated, and therefore market is now reacting to the anticipation that actual numbers are still better than what they had expected, and this is how market momentum will go forward, and this is how the markets will move ahead. Still there are a lot of shorts still pending that are there in the market, and till the time those shorts are out, the momentum upside will continue.
Right, it's a very strong looking market. 86.45 is what we've got on the screen, 40 points higher on the Nifty. It's looking pretty good. 0.5% higher is what we're seeing on the Nifty. The breadth of the market's also healthy. The broader markets are doing as well, sectorally as well. Auto and energy stocks are doing exceptionally well. Consumption is having a good day. Banks are trading firm. So across the board, the gains are anywhere in the range of 7/10 to nearly now 1% each. On the top gainer of the day, it's got to be BHEL, 3% higher, 135.5 is what that stock is doing. ACC is not too far behind. So a lot of these budget themed stocks are seeing some buying emerging as we eye the budget that is expected to be announced on Wednesday next week. Axis Bank is doing well. HDFC's again turned positive. ICICI Bank, Kotak, the Yes Bank, all are turning out to be the top gainers in today's trading session. IIFL Holdings, on back of a good set of numbers, is turning out to see an 8% uptick. So top gainer across the mid-cap horizon. Wellspun Corp is up 7.5%. United Spirits, NLC, Emphasis, Island FS Transportation, Godrej Properties are amongst the top gainers across the mid-cap space. On the sell side, IDFC is down 3%. Numbers were a disappointment. The stock is getting beaten down. Prestige Estates, Raymond, Indiabulls Real Estate, Alembic Pharma, Trent, Oberoi Realty, Lupin, Imami are also not doing too well. Just quickly pull up Wipro to see what it's getting up to. The earnings were a disappointment. An outlook as well doesn't seem too promising, but the market is not punishing the counter as much. It's trading weak, underperforming the markets, down about 1% in trade. With that, we'll sip in a break. Thanks, gentlemen, for joining us this morning on Dealing Room. We'll come back with Market Guru Madhav Dhar, founder and managing director, our partner at GTI Capital Group, will join in, so stay tuned.